How much does it cost to replace your AC? Here in Bay Area, I see estimates from $5,000 to $50,000 for this kind of job. So the real answer, it depends. I know that's the answer nobody wants. But stay with me because it's the honest one, and by the end, you'll know exactly what it depends on. But here's the thing, you are a savvy homeowner, and you call 3 contractors to get 3 quotes, and the price is $10,000 even $20,000 apart. That doesn't mean 2 of them are greedy. Of course, we don't count salespeople. It almost always means they are quoting 3 different scopes of the work, 3 different amount of actual work, different corners cut, and you'd never know from the price alone. In this video, I'll give you 8 points checklist what helps you simplify your quote process. Don't worry about memorizing them. The full list will be in the description. Number 1 is the thing everybody already shops on. The equipment itself, the size, the efficiency rating, the brand. It's the number on the front of every quote, and it's maybe half of the real story. Bigger house, higher efficiency, higher price. But here's the trap, and that's where the sales guys live. Bigger is not better. A salesman will always try to sell you the bigger, more expensive unit, more tonnage, top tier efficiency you may not even need. I don't have anything against the salespeople, but sometimes they are too passionate about the total amount of the sale and therefore their commission. Sounds like more house for your money. It isn't, and an oversized system, short cycles, works in higher static pressure. It wears out early and it cools unevenly. The right size doesn't come from the sales pitch. It comes from an actual load calculations on your house. So if the first thing the contractor does is push you up the size without measuring anything, that tells you what kind of visit this is. That's the easy one. Now the 7 things that separate a real quote from a cheap one. Number 2. Ask this exact question. Are you replacing the evaporator coil at 2? And does it match the outdoor unit? The coil is the indoor half of your AC. It sits on top of your furnace and it's where the air actually gets cold. If contractor wants to bolt a new outdoor unit onto your old coil, that's a red flag. 2 reasons that matters more than it used to. First, the match. The coil and the outdoor unit are engineered as a set. Mix an old coil with a new condenser and a new system never hits the rated efficiency, and you can avoid the manufacturer warranty on day 1. The coil has to match what's outside. Second, and this is new, the industry just moved for a new generation of refrigerants, and these are mildly flammable. That's not scary, it's just chemistry, but it changes the equipment. This system requires a safety device, a leak sensor built right into the indoor unit at the coil. If leak is ever detected, it shuts down the system and runs the fan to clear the air. So when you replace the coil for one of those systems, the safety device has to be installed and connected. A proper replacement swaps the coil, matches it to the outdoor unit, and installs the safety system. If any of this missing from the quote, just ask why. There is rarely a good answer. Number 3, the line set. Ask, is it being replaced or reused? The line set is the pair of the copper lines that carry refrigerant between the outdoor unit and the indoor coil. Some jobs reuse it, some replace it. Both can be fine, but it belongs on the paper either way, because it's a real cost difference. Here's the part nobody tells you. The old line set is sometimes too small for a newer system, especially a high efficiency one. The bigger, more efficient unit often need a larger line set to move the refrigerant the way they are designed to. So a contractor reuses the old undersized line, saves a few hours, drops in a fancy high efficiency system, and you never get the efficiency you paid extra for. It's like putting a garden hose in a fire truck. If they are reusing the set, it has to be the right size, and it has to be flushed and pressure tested for a new refrigerant. If they are replacing it, that's labor and material. What you don't want is nobody mentioning it at all. That's the sign of the quote that's guessing. Number 4, and this is my favorite, the ductwork, specifically the connections. Here's what most homeowners don't realize. When you put a new coil or a new furnace at the same time, the new equipment is often different size than the old one, which means the plenum, that's the sheet metal box that connects the furnace and the ducts, has to be modified to fit. That's real work. Cutting, fabricating, and then sealing every connection so you are not leaking the air you just paid to cool It's straight to the attic or your closet. And it's exactly the step cheap crews rush to skip. So ask, does the quote include ductwork or planar modification? And how are connections getting sealed? A good contractor has a clear answer. A bad one gets vague, and vague here costs you every single month on your energy bill. Number 5 is the one you would never think to ask about, and it might matter more than anything else on this list. How are they brazing the connections? And are they flowing nitrogen while they are doing? Let me explain, because this is the difference between a system that lasts 15 years and the one that dies early. Brazing is how the copper efficient lines get joined, basically welding them with the heat. When you hit the copper on the open air, the inside of the pipe forms a black, flaky scale, and that debris ends up loose inside a sealed system. The right way is to flow nitrogen gas through the pipe while you braze. The nitrogen pushes the air out, so no scale forms. Clean pipe inside and out. Skip the nitrogen, and plenty of the installers do, because it's an extra step and it's extra tank, and all that black debris circulates through your brand new system. Sooner or later it reaches the compressor, the single most expensive part, and grinds it up from the inside. Same conversation, the filter dryer. Small part catches moisture and debris. Should be replaced on every brazing job. It's cheap, skipping it is just laziness. Now, here's the problem. You probably won't see the word nitrogen written on any quote. So do this. Look through the scope. If you don't see the brazing on nitrogen mentioned anywhere, just ask the contractor directly, do you flow the nitrogen while you're brazing? If they say yes, and they'll note it on the scope, that's worth paying extra for. That one question tells you the kind of work you are getting. Number 6, permits. And there's a detail here almost nobody knows to ask about. First, are they even pulling one? If they are not, you are the one holding the bag with the city. Worse, if that system is ever part of the problem, fire and insurance claim, no permit can mean no coverage. The insurance company looks for that permit, doesn't find it, and denies you. That's a bad day to learn this lesson. Now the part that catches good people off guard. Pulling the permit and closing the permit are two different things. A contractor can pull the permit, do the work, collect the check, and just leave the permit open. Now it's on you to schedule the inspection, to be there for the inspector, and to fix whatever he flags. Most homeowners don't even know the permit's still open until they try to sell the house years later. So ask it plainly. Do you pull the permit and close it out with the city? Or just pull it? Some do both, some do bare minimum. Whatever is the answer, get it in writing, because the permit included can mean two very different things, and you want to know which one you are paying. Number 7, the warranty, but the one that actually matters and what's actually inside it. The equipment comes with the manufacturer's warranty. Usually it's 5, 10, sometimes 12 years on part, and every contractor will waive that at you. That's the easy part. The one to ask about is the labor warranty, because a part being free under the warranty doesn't help you much if you have to pay a guy to come diagnose it and swap it, and that labor bill is on you. Labor warranties are all over the map. Some contractors give you nothing the day they pull out of the driveway. You are on your own. Here in California, 1 year on labor is common. It's not terrible, but there's an option to get extended warranty, so just ask about it. And here's the question most people forget. Ask what the warranty actually covers and what it doesn't. Does it cover the refrigerant if there is a leak? A diagnostic fee? A service call charge just to show up? Is it worth it if you skip any annual maintenance? A warranty with the page of the exclusions isn't the same as the one actually has your back. So don't just ask, is it under the warranty? Ask how long is the labor warranty and what is covered versus what's not. Parts and labor are two different promises, and the fine print is the third. Number 8, the last one, simple but people forget about it, the timeline. When does it start and when it's actually done? And I mean done. Because here's how this goes wrong. The job starts on Monday like they promised. They tear out the old system, get halfway in, and then it stalls. Turns out the contractor never actually reserved the equipment. Now you are waiting on the coil that's on a back order, and the job was supposed to take 2 days drags out 3 months. In the middle of the summer, with the system in pieces. So ask 2 things. When does it start? And is my equipment already in stock? A contractor who's organized has the gear lined up before he touches your house. The one who's vague about it, telling you exactly how the whole job is going to go. Now here's how you actually use it. You pull 3 quotes, 4 or 5, doesn't matter, and you do not lay them side by side and circle the lowest number. That's shopping like it's Amazon, and it's exactly how people get burned. Instead, lay them out by these 8 lines. Which quote replace and match the coil, which install the safety system, which size the line set right, which flow the nitrogen, which pull and close the permit, which one give you more than a year of labor and cover the refrigerant. Now you're comparing apples to apples, and watch what happens. Once the scope actually match, the prices start to make sense. A huge gap shrink, and if 2 quotes cover the exact same work, then sure, pick the better price. That's a smart decision because now you are buying the same job. And here's the thing I really want you to walk away with. When you do this, when you compare the real scope instead of the bottom line, you stop needing me or anybody to tell you what it should cost. You'll have your own answer on the question you came here with. For your house, for your system, for your quotes. That number is the real one. Nobody can hand it to you. You build it yourself with this list. And the cheapest quote with the vaguest scope, that was never the cheap one. It's the one that left most out. You just pay for it later. In that compressor, in a leaking duct, or a permit you're stuck closing yourself. So that's it. 8 lines, apples to apples, price last, and you end up with your own clear answer. Put the like and share if that was helpful for you, and see you in the next one.